It's time for Outdoors Bound with George Noliff. Sponsored by Kubota of Lynchburg and Tony's RV.
Outdoors Bound tonight also takes us to the Halls of Power in Richmond, an effort to fund a controversial study of a fish vital to Virginia's economy. Looked like it might finally happen. Our George Noliff picks up the story.
A last-gasp effort in the Virginia General Assembly to fund a study of Atlantic menhaden has gone down to the deep once again. A funding measure by Delegate Betsy Carr was cut out of the budget during negotiations between the Virginia House and the Virginia Senate. Conservation groups have been pushing for the study because they claim menhaden numbers in Virginia's portion of the Chesapeake Bay are down, and it's having an impact on everything from sport fish to aquatic animals to birds.
We needed this science to better manage our menhaden resource in Chesapeake Bay, and unfortunately we're not going to have it for at least another year now.
The research would have been done by the Virginia Institute of Marine Science. Virginia is the only state on the Atlantic coast that allows industrial reduction fishing in estuaries like the Chesapeake Bay. It's being done by one company, Omega Protein. Omega employs more than 200 people at its base of operations in Reedville. The company says menhaden numbers are sustainable, and they point to coastwide numbers to back that up. However, critics say 70% of Atlantic menhaden are harvested in Virginia waters, so coastwide numbers aren't a good measure of what's happening locally, and that the research is desperately needed.
Unfortunately, we still manage menhaden based on the resource that's modeled from Maine to Florida, and that modeling effort, although good and getting better each time we do it, it can't take into account what's happening specifically in Chesapeake Bay. And so when we have such a large fishery here in Chesapeake Bay, we really need better scientific answers, and that's what this study was set up to do.
We've seen this picture before. This is the third year in a row that this study bill has failed the General Assembly. And I think, in my view, part of what's happening here is most of our lawmakers have little understanding of the importance of this fish.
And that was our George Noliff reporting. George received a statement from Omega where they say lawmakers will take a few things into consideration in future menhaden study proposals. They say, quote, "We urge them to commit to a properly designed, adequately funded study of sufficient duration. Omega Protein and Ocean Harvesters look forward to working with VIMS and the VMRC in the future to better understand menhaden abundance in the Chesapeake Bay." Now, there's still an outside chance Governor Glenn Youngkin could add the menhaden funding amendment back into the budget. However, political observers in Richmond say that's unlikely. Well, looking at